Good morning and welcome to my channel Perfect Pastimes. My name's Amanda, my friends call me Amo, and I live in Dorset in the southwest of England with my husband and my two dogs. And you've just seen Gwynnie, and Willow's over here on her seat, so any moans and groans and sighs, it will be her. Hello and thank you for joining me this morning. If you're new here, it's lovely to have you along, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back again. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you can. I forget which one it is down below. Hype, share, do whatever you can to get my little channel out there. I'll be very, very grateful. Thank you. And if you leave comments down below, I will get back to you. I will try to remember to put anything I talk about in the description box below. So hopefully I'll remember to put that down. But if there's anything you want to know about, just ask in the comments or send me a line. My contact details are all here. That's Instagram, email, my Ravelry and my Ko-fi page. And I'll be happy to chat to you about anything that you need to know more information about. So today I have mostly knitting, I think, on my schedule. I have been a little bit busy out and about, and I'll talk about that later. But yes, it's all knitting, and I'm starting to feel a little bereft of not having any crochet. So maybe I might think about that during the week. But I have 4 things that I'm working on, plus socks as always. And I'm one of these people who do not like having too many whips on the go. I start to feel a bit panicky and out of control, and I like to know what I'm working on each time. And all of my things seem to come to a finish a few weeks ago, so I've got a few new beginnings on the go, and I like to have them at different stages really, so that if I think, oh, something's really working well, I can get on and try and finish it. So yeah, it's all knitting today. Grab yourself a drink, a cup of tea. I'm usually a coffee drinker after my first cup of tea in bed, but I just fancied another cup of tea today. So grab yourself a drink, make yourself comfy, pick up any knitting or sewing you want to be doing, and perhaps join me for a short time today. Thank you very much. Okay, I am going to start today with what I'm wearing, and this is my Xyla Tee by Sandra Butler, and I made this 2 years ago, and it's in Malabrigo Silky Merino. I do have notes down below if I'm trying to remember not to use them, but if you want to know the information, I have to jot my little Menno chemo brain cell, my amoebic one brain cell, and tell you the proper information. So it's Silky Merino 862 pay dress by Malabrigo, and it is a lovely tee, just the right weight for this kind of weather. I do have a little cami underneath. Is that the cami? No, there's the cami underneath, and it's a beautiful little knit, very simple little bit of lace work around the top and along the bottom, just around there, and a tiny little bit around the sleeve. Just the kind of thing I want to put on for today. A little bit of woolly warmth, but it isn't cold. It's silly weather. Anyway, so before I get into the knitting, what have I been up to? I have played a bit of golf this week. Tuesday I played out in a competition with my friend, and it was interesting. We had 3 little thunderstorms as we were going around, so we're all starting to get a bit twitchy. We finished our round of golf early because we couldn't have won on the number of holes that were left, so we were glad we got as far as we did. And just as we walked into the car park, there was another rumble of thunder and the klaxon went off, which means you all have to come in off the golf course because there's lightning in the air as well. I managed to get my stuff in the car, and just as I was going into the clubhouse, huge sheets of lightning, thunderbolts and everything was going on, and it was a horrific storm. It took us about an hour to decide that we needed to go home because it was just, we didn't want to go out to the car park. So from last week's vlog where it was too hot, I didn't want to talk about it, to this week's vlog where it's just been swimming. Wednesday I took Winnie for a little walk, which was nice because it was cool enough and lovely enough for us to go for a little walk down in the forest. Thursday I did my housework catch-up things, all those deeper stuff that you have to do during the week. Friday I had my car serviced, MOT'd, so that was a bit of sock knitting in the car showroom. Nothing exciting there. And then yesterday was our golf charity day, so that's why I didn't record yesterday. And again, the weather was horrific. We swam around that course, and when I got home I spent the day in my super fluffy comfies, which I usually only wear in the winter, in front of the fire trying to get warm again. So yesterday was literally a washout. But if you're wondering why I'm recording today, that's the reason. I just didn't have the energy to pick up the camera and start chatting to you, I'm afraid. So let me get on with the nitty stuff now. I'm just going to have another bit of tea. I was doing quite a bit of chatting yesterday, so I'm a bit croaky. And we will start with my bigger garment knitting, which is in this mood bag, because it's a whole garment. And this is my 3 Seasons cardigan by Woolen Pine, and I've spoken to you about this in quite a few of the previous podcasts. And I am going to turn the page back to where I was, otherwise I will get lost. There is written and charts, I think. No, it's charted. It's a charted pattern. So you have to be comfortable doing a bit of charted, but it's cables, and I love cables. Last time I showed you this, I'm going to carefully put the bag down because you'll see why in a minute. There's a clue. Last time I showed you this, I was at the bottom of the back section. Sorry for any clanking, if you can pick that up. I was at the bottom, not the back section, the first repeat of the back section. So there's the lace and the pearly section, the lobster claws, and the beautiful cable piece in the middle. And I wanted to do another repeat of that to see how long it is. I think in the picture she's only got the 2 repeats, and it finishes again on the young lady's waistline quite high. My waistline is a lot further down than a 18-20-year-olds nowadays. I do have an hourglass, so I do have a waistline, but it's just a bit more shy of showing itself, shall we say. And I do have the mum tum. I do like to go a bit lower and cover that up. So I decided to start the 2 sides. The cast on is on provisional stitches. There's the neckline, and I had 2 cast on provisional sides. So if you're wondering why I've got so much yarn and sets of needles, it's because I picked up the 2 provisional pieces for the sides, and I've made those as well. So we are all at 1 pattern repeat all the way down. And I quite enjoy doing the fronts. Obviously they're a lot quicker, they're half the size, but you have to do it twice. And it's becoming a bit of a juggle, but I don't mind that. I've got quite a lot of patience. The yarn does get a bit tangled, but I can sort that out now and then. There we go. So that's where I'm up to on my, I hope you can see that right. Three Seasons cardigan. And somebody said, when I said I was going to do 1 and a bit repeats, how am I going to do a repeat when it's quite a long repeat? Well, it may be quite a long repeat, but there's 2 parts to it. There's the bit with what looks like to me like a pomegranate, and then there's the Celtic knot bit. So though that is all 1 repeat, it's also in 2 halves. So I could do a whole repeat and then part of a repeat at the bottom, or another whole, so that would be another 2 repeats maybe. I don't know yet, but I'm very, very happy that I'm at this stage where I can work on it all at the same time. It's not worked in the round once I'm at the undersleeves. You carry on straight, and it's got a seam up each side, which is unusual. But if you're an old-fashioned knitter like I am, it's not that unusual. It's what you would have been learning to knit on knitting over the past 50 odd years anyway. So circular knitting top down is not a new thing, but it's a relatively modern innovation in that everybody does it nowadays. I mean, it is an old way of knitting, but you know, the majority of people have learnt to knit on straight needles, and everything's bottom up and sewn. So doing side seams is nothing really, is it? It's just going to be nice to be able to work on it all at the same time, and to be able to do this and say, yes, that's the right length. And I do like the length of this Xyla. It's almost to the bottom of my jeans zip, but I think I'd like to wear this to go over maybe skirts or dresses. So my actual waist itself is there, my jeans is there. Of course, the young lady's got it up to her waist, which is far too short for me. So I'll try and get down to my, thank you, Willie. I'll try and get down to my jeans belt line, so that if I did want to wear it in jeans, it would at least cover that. And I can try it on with a couple of dresses or skirts that I may want to wear it with. Anyway, I'm loving this colour. It's burgundy, but it's not. To me, it's a rust. It's nowhere near a burgundy. Anyway, that's not Wool Warehouse's problem. It's Malabrigo's labelling. I wasn't sent the wrong yarn. The label does actually say burgundy. Who knows? It may have been wrongly labelled at the factory, but I am more than happy with this colour. It's beautiful, and I really, really, really am enjoying making this cabling, bit of lacework and cabling. So that is how far I've moved on my 3 Seasons cardigan. It looks like a bit of an octopus now, but I'm quite enjoying the challenge of that one. Another knit that I have been slowly getting on with, but I think the boredom set in a bit with this one, which is silly really, is my Papas, which I am making in the Knotted by Nish brushed merino in Ocean, which is a large, oversized, very, very loosely, you can see how loosely that is knitted, overgarment, which you knit from like the bust line up to the neck, split for the neck, pick up for the neck, go back down to the shoulder blades, or it might be from the shoulder blades over to the bust line. You do half and half at the top, but the arms are made in with it, with little cuffs at each end, and I've now joined in the bottom, and I've been knitting round and round underneath, so I don't know, 2 inches, 3 inches, but it is round and round and round and round, and I've just dropped a load of stitches again because I haven't put stitch stoppers on. I know, my fault. There we go. So I do enjoy the cables so much on the other one. I haven't been doing this. It's a bit samey. But when I've had something on the television that I wanted to watch, this is quite easy just to pick up and get on with. So I will find a progress keeper. Let's see what I've got in here. Almost like a Christmas bauble with fluff. There we go. I don't know why I picked the Christmas bauble-y one, but there we go. I will put that in at my side marker so you can see my progress from next time. Hopefully I might get it a bit further on, but I am being absorbed by the other things. And because I'm recording today on the Sunday, I'm going to have a short week, aren't I? So that is the Papas pullover. Do I have the picture? I have spoken about these. Now I don't have a picture with my printing. I don't print out. If you look back on the last vlog, and possibly the one before, I think I put pictures in and description. I will put the link below if you want to go and have a look at it. But it's a nice way of using a nice light fluffy yarn for a lightweight popover, and it's made my face tickle now. Right. My other garment I have been making in my This Lizzie Sews bag, which I started last week, is the Lauro, and I've been making this in Drops Bell, which I wanted to try for a little while, and after watching Amber of I've forgotten again. After watching Amber, I'll put the name on the screen. She did a comparison of Drops Bell and Sanders Garn Liner, and she was very impressed with the only difference between the two yarns is the price point. So I got this from Wool Warehouse, and it is colour 34, and it's a, I'll stop shoving it in your face in a minute, cotton 53, 33 viscose, 14 linen, and because they're all plied together, you can see there's 3 different colours there. And this is the Lauro. There we go. And it has these beautiful raglan things that carry on down the sides. There's 2 rows of these eyelet stitches down the sides. So last week I showed you I was just past the cast on the neckline. I'd done that much, and this week it is all bunched up. I am almost at the underarm. There's the lovely pattern down the raglans, 4 of those. I think I have 20 more rounds to do. The pattern is brilliant because it has big tick sheets at the back, and you can mark your progress as you go. And I've got another 20 rounds to do, and then she advises that you try it on, see that you're happy with the underarm fit, and then we go into the main body, which will carry on those raglan patterns down each side. This yarn is knitting really, really beautifully. I'm very, very impressed with it, and I don't know if you can see, it's very hard to show you, but it's very lightly mottled. Obviously the different fibres, the linen, the cotton and the viscose, have taken the same dye, just slightly different colours, and it gives a very beautiful slight mottling, and it's beautiful. And I'm really impressed because I don't like knitting with cotton, but I think the viscose has given this a beautiful softness, and it's got quite a floppy hand to it. It wouldn't be good for a structured garment really, and of course it being cotton and linen, it's going to be quite nice and quite cool, I hope. So that is my other garment that I've been working on. So there's 3 garments which I've been telling you about over the last few weeks anyway, but I have cracked on with that one quite well. I'm hoping to be onto the body next time I see you at the weekend, next weekend. I will leave links to that again, and this Lizzie Sews. She did have a couple of these bags left last week. I doubt if she has now. You have to follow her on Instagram because she does her shop drop on Instagram. It's the framed bag that stays open next to you, and it's lovely to work out of. Handy for the car and things as well. And my last project that I've been working on knit-wise is the Carnaby Shawl, and this is by Helen Stewart, and it is shawl 2 in the Shawl Society 6. Each month she is releasing for 6 months a new shawl pattern, and I have chosen to do my shawls hopefully all in stash. I don't have a big stash, but I do have a little bit up there which I would like to move on. Helen gives you quite good instructions on yarns that you can use, obviously what she's used, what her testers have used, and how she recommends you use it, and options as well. Excuse me. Yeah, options for using other yarns. And she did hers in, I think it was 4-ply with a mohair held, and every few rows was done in just the mohair. I didn't want another mohair project, and though I have some mohair in my stash, I wouldn't have had enough for what she wanted. She also gave quantities for things like a DK. Obviously, if you're holding a fingering double or with a mohair, it's going to be a DK weight. So I thought, oh, light bulb moment. And what I had in my stash was, I'll show you the picture first. Oh no, let's see if I've got a better picture. I showed you the pictures to this last week. Helen's patterns are quite, again, comprehensive. She has tick sheets all the way through. I'll insert a picture of the Carnaby shawl. What I had in my stash was this Sirdar colour wheel, which is a DK colour changing all-in-one. I have 2 of these, and I really thought that would be a great option for this scarf shawl. So I started knitting with this. These are so not my colours, but anyway, I think she has 135 cast on. I worked out what the repeat is, and I've got 87. I think she has 10 repeats across. It's quite a wide shawl, and I've just done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 repeats across. So the ball I had partially started with the oranges, went to the pinks, hot pinks, soft purples, mauve purple, and then it morphed into the greens, lovely aqua then, and then this lime green, which then went into brilliant yellow. And I started knitting on the yellow, which was at the end of my other ball, and I found the yellow point in this one and carried on for about 2 colour changes actually. And I thought, that yellow, if I wore this scarf, or if anybody wears it, is going to be right here. And I'm not a huge yellow fan. I don't know that many people who like a good yellow, and I don't think it does my colour tone any good. So what I did was I took it back, and then I was going to carry on with the other colours, and I thought, no, I've got 2 of these balls. What I will do is I'll go back down the colours. So I found the limey green in the other ball, which is now obviously knitted here. There you can see where I changed. I stopped the limey green on one ball, picked up on the other ball, and now I'm going back down the colours. So there's the other half of the lime green from the second ball, and there's the a tealy bluey colour. My next colour will be the softer green, which is that one, and then the leaf green, and then I'm going to go into, I had to do a little bit of jiggling with the striping of the balls. There's the rest of the leaf green, and then it will go into the purples and down to the pinks. So I will end up with this orange at the very ends, each ends of my scarf shawl, which is going to be quite long actually. So that's basically the halfway point there. And that will come down the front. And they will be matching each side. I was pleased, though I've done quite a bit of the... Sorry, I keep touching my face. I've got fluff on it. I've got quite sensitive skin at the moment. Anyway, I'm glad I'd only done about 20 rounds, 20 rows further on. So I'm glad I had that light bulb moment before I went too much further on. So I had to tink all the way back. I took out the yellow, which I don't think is a very complimentary colour to most people's skin tone anyway, and it would have been right under the face. And I'm now going back down. It's a very easy pattern to follow in the main, but you do have the increases one side and decreases the other, because it is a vertical pattern which goes up on the parallelogram. Is that the right word? Anyway, it goes up diagonally like that. Okay. So that will be 2 large balls. These are 150 gram balls. 520 metres each. 2 of those out of my stash. And I think that's made quite a fun knit. I probably wouldn't wear it, but I might find somebody who loves bright colours and would like it. That is all my knitting I've managed to get on with going out with the dogs, golfing in torrential rains and everything else. That's all I managed to get on with. It's still a fair amount, and a lot of decision making, like making the fronts of the 3-season and changing the direction of the yarn on that shawl, Carnaby Shawl. Was quite good, I think. I'm pleased with what's happened this week. I did find a new podcaster. Somebody recommended her, called Amanda Jane. Is it Amanda Jane or Amanda June? I'll put her link down below. She's in New Zealand, lovely lady, lovely maker of beautiful things. She's also on Instagram. And I watched her first podcast. I think she's only done 3. So if you go over and give her a little bit of a look, that would be good. And one thing she showed was the Vintage Pearls Miss Moneybags pattern. I think the little, I don't know if they're rabbits or hares. The way their stance is more hairy, but They could be rabbits. They've got short ears and round bottoms. But you know I will have homed in on the butterfly moth one here. And many years ago when I used to do open studios, I used to make bags and purses. Let me see, I've got one here out of some fabric. I've got labels in here, my labels I put on garments. So I've got some purse frames. In fact, I have a great big bag of purse frames. It's quite heavy. There you go. And in here, in my bag of purse frames, it's every kind of purse frame you can think of, which I used to make sometimes. There's a great big one there where you could suspend it from the bars. Another suspending one. They were great for when I did my felting. Quite a lot of those actually. And then I have the larger purse frames. Here's some antique ones. And some tiny ones. And I think this pattern takes 4-inch ones. Now I did find I had these. They've got to be a sewn frame, obviously, for knitwear. There's another one there. So I think in here I must have one combination or another there's another good one there's another bar one. Purse frame, sorry for the rustling, that I could do for those. It only takes 20-gram balls of yarn, and I've got a little basket up there with all my leftovers. So that's another thing I'd like to bag up, put in my projects bag there. It should be a fairly quick one, but it's a nice bit of colour work. So thank you for that recommendation, Amanda. Us Amandas unite, you see, and we're on opposite sides of the world, so I would like to know if she's done that. I've got 2 of her other podcasts to catch up on, which I will do, and I will put her details down below. Pop over and say hello to her. And that's everything I've got to show you this week. I'm hoping I will be back on Saturday, my normal podcast day. If I'm not, it's because I haven't got on with much. The garden is still taking up a lot of time. I am so happy last week I managed to show you a video of my garden. It was splendid last week. All my roses were glorious, all the peonies were beautiful, and everything looked wonderful. And since then it's done nothing but rain. The peonies are all sad, the roses have gone brown and dropped. I need to deadhead because most of my roses are repeat flowering, and if I don't get out and deadhead, they won't repeat flower very well. And the weeds have taken over even more. It's a large garden, it takes a lot of getting out, even though I do have my lovely garden pixie who comes and helps me. It is still quite a lot of work. So I'm grateful I got that video. I don't know why Gwen's sitting there looking like that, but there she is. I've got that video to show you what it was like at its peak point, and also for me to remember that all the work is worth it, despite the rain and the torrential downpours ruining all the best flowers that I had this year. Hoping to see you next Saturday. We'll see. If not, I will put out another podcast when I can. It may be a fortnight's time. I do quite like the Saturday putting out, but we'll see what I've managed to do to show you. I would hate to come on here and have nothing to show. I hope your weather where you are is being kind. I hope you are all well. And for now, I will stay safe, stay creative, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye.